Good morning.
We did a topic this morning about, did you see Pat Sajak snapping at one of the Wheel of Fortune contestants?
No, I did not, but now I'm going to have to look for it.
I think he's
Pat's a drinker, right?
He's done, right?
So he was probably hungover.
He's just at this point, he's just collecting them checks. He's been doing Wheel of Fortune for 30 years.
Yeah. Vanna White's turned him down again. It's just like, just had enough. Anyway,
I respect that Vanna's still on the show. You know, she just goes up and touches things. Now it's not even like she even has to spin the words around.
Well, exactly. She just literally goes up and touches the block now.
Well, somebody's doing it from back, in a control room. She doesn't even need to be there. But anyway,
looks good.
She still looks great. She hosted one.
He was away.
Week.
He was sick or something, so she hosted.
Yeah. Anyway, so we were talking about snapping at work stories. Have you got anything?
I'm pretty chill, so I've never really had a meltdown at work before, but I used to work, before I worked at The Nation, I worked at an office building on the West End that was like, it looked like office space. It was all cubicles and it was very gray. And I'll never forget one day a lady quit. And the way she decided to quit was just that she basically flipped everyone off and threw the bird at everyone on her way out. And I just stood there in my cubicle watching her go by. And when the digit came at me, I just kind of laughed. Because what else are you going to do?
I had a moment this morning where I realized this is the first radio company I've ever worked for where I haven't seen a fist fight yet.
Oh, well, there's still time. 2024.
Haven't you been here for over almost 6 years?
No, it's over 5 years.
Yeah, over 5.
This is the first bill, I swear to God.
It'll be 6 in like March, won't it?
Yeah, it'll be 6 years in March that I've been in this building. Yeah. Anyway.
I got a hockey question. Graham was just texting in saying that there's 10 teams in the NHL that are wanting the season canceled if they can't have fans because they can't afford to pay their players with no fans. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I heard that there's a bunch of owners that were just like, well, if the players want to argue about money and what they're going to get for a half season or whatever it turns out to be, then maybe we should just shut it down because I could lose, and this is me as an owner, I could lose anywhere from $60 to $100 million or something like that. And so, yeah, I mean, I could see why some owners would be just, why play a season if I can't make any money? I mean, they don't get in the business of owning a hockey team for donating salaries. So I could definitely see why that would be a thing. I don't think it's going to happen. I still think that there's going to be a season. With every other league finding a way to play, it would just look like a really bad look for the NHL to be the only one that wants to be a major sports league that can't find a way to get it done. So while I do think that's a concern, I do wonder how much of that just is posturing from billionaires.
Well, did you see the Philadelphia Phillies in the MLB? They can't sign their catcher because they lost $4 billion in the season with no fans. Yeah. So literally their all-star catcher, they're like, we can't sign you, sorry, buddy. So
Cates can't pay his hotel bills.
So it's just like, who knows? I mean, there's obviously these guys don't become billionaires by just giving away hundreds of millions of dollars. So that's a real problem. And the longer this goes on, the longer they have to figure it, or the more time they're wasting while they figure it out. So I think there's going to be a season. I don't think they're going to cancel it. I don't think they're going to be the only major pro sport in North America to cancel. It's just a matter of when are they going to end this pissing contest and just finally get down to the middle.
That's the best description of it. That's what I'm getting. They're both sort of, they've dug in and they're both doing what they need to do before the other one bends. It's usually, if you look back in history, it's usually the players, right? Isn't Bettman really good at this?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing with the NHL is that they've locked out this league more times than anyone else over the last decade plus, and they just can't do it again. I mean, Bettman, to his credit, he knows who his employers are, and that's the owners of the NHL teams. And I don't think that if you're going to have a billionaire versus millionaire conversation, the billionaires are always going to win. So it's going to be a matter of when the players cave and they're finally like, all right, well, 50% of my contract is better than 100% of nothing, I guess. But that's just kind of what it comes down to, really. It's the richer guys looking at the other rich guys, and they're like, do you guys want to play, or do I just go
do I keep my money?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think there's going to be I do think there's going to be a season, but they're wasting time, and it's going to looking like it's going to be late January or early February now when it does get going.
World Juniors, Red Deer. I know we're all sort of keeping an eye on that because it's actually happening in Edmonton. I'm starting to get concerned. They plan on locking them in, though, right? Like they're planning on doing something very similar to what they did with the playoffs for the NHL. Am I mistaken or no?
No, yeah, they're going back in the bubble.
They're going right in the bubble. Okay.
Yeah, so once this, there was the health concerns with Team Canada lockdown for a couple of weeks and all that kind of stuff, but if you remember, that kind of thing happened in the NHL before their return to play in the summer as well. There was a bunch of guys that caught COVID, and then after the quarantine period, they ended up being okay. So once everybody gets back in the bubble in Edmonton, I think it's going to be fine. It's just a matter of getting them to that start line in the first place, I think.
Yeah. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. We got World Juniors. That's going to be a nice return to hockey during the Christmas season. And then we'll keep our fingers crossed that the NHL can pull their heads out of their asses and get a season going in January.
I still believe it's going to happen. I think they're going to do it. It's just a matter of, okay, let's end the stalemate that you're at now and let's actually negotiate.
I like your positivity, Baggedmilk.
All I got, my friends. It's been 9 months sitting in my house. What else am I doing?
Say hi to Frank for us, too.
Frank the dog?
All right. Frank the dog.
All right. Thanks for your time today, brother.
All right, boys.